Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is GarrettJPeters, and today we are checking out the new incredible plugin from STL Tones, the STL ToneHub. So what is this plugin? Basically, in short, it's a Kemper in a plugin format. Users can load any of STL Tones' current and future roster of Kemper and Axe Effects artist packs into one easy to use plugin suite. So basically, STL Tones, they have all these different producer packs with all their favorite snapshots of their favorite tones, and they've got a bunch of packs like Angel Vivaldi, Andy James, tons of other people, and you get all those packs separately, but now they have so many packs they put them all into one nice, easy to use plugin. So we're going to check out some tones, but first I'm going to show you around the plugin and how to get around it. Alright, so first at the top on the left here, you can see we've got all the different packs right here. This Angel Vivaldi one, it's simple. You just click on one, double click, and now you're on that preset. Very easy, right? And it's kind of cool. We got the preset names right here. We got the artist. It even gives details though on the amplifier, the cabinet, the microphone, the guitar, the pickup used, and then notes on the side here, which I actually found quite helpful when I wanted to find and sort through which tones I wanted. Let's be real, I'm a metal guy. I hit the notes and I scroll right to lead, and then I'll just click on one, and then one thing that I found that was kind of helpful is you can right click up here and you can get rid of a certain thing if you want to be able to see more of the notes and stuff like that. So moving along, we got the input gain right here, and we got the output gain on the other side. We've got a built-in noise gate, which I actually find to be super helpful. If I turn this all the way down, I turn my guitar all the way up, you can hear that hum. Turn the noise gate up and it's not off, and it's nice that it doesn't actually interfere with the reverb or anything. Nice and quiet, so really good noise gate. It's also got a built-in tuner here, you can turn on and off. Moving along, we got the Stomp Pedals right here. You got the amp, you got the cabinet, equalizer, and effects. Going in more detail, the Stomp Pedals, you got 3 overdrives and compressors. It's very easy to use. You just click on one and adjust accordingly just by clicking and dragging. One thing that's kind of cool too though, if you're actually on the overdrive and you're on the compressor, let's say you got a couple things selected, if you want to bypass all of them at once, you just simply click up here and it grays it out and it bypasses it. I found it really helpful when I was utilizing the EQ section. I could kind of turn it on and off and see how like whether I liked the EQ moves I've done. So I found that to be very helpful. So now moving on to the amp section, this is where you can adjust the frequencies of each preset on their own. So again, it's kind of just like you still have the amp in the other room plugged in, and then you're hearing it through your monitors and you can adjust accordingly. But the thing I really like about this is it actually feels very real. When I adjust the gain, the bass actually goes up, and same with the master, it actually feels like the real amp there. So I think that's really cool. Another thing that's really great is it has this bias and sag adjustments that you can make here. And those are really great because, you know, with each of these tones, the way they've been captured, it might feel different with your guitar and your pickups and all that stuff. So that can help get you to make it feel more like correct in your hands. We got the cabinet section here, and again, really easy to use. If I want, I can just click and drag, and I can also click and drag from here. I can pull it forward and back from here. But now the new thing that they have, this is actually a 3D cabinet module, this is something I've never seen in plugins, and I've used a lot of plugins, is you can actually adjust the angle of the microphone, which can make for some really unique tones I've found. So very cool feature. You got the resonance adjustments here, as well as a high pass and low pass as well. Now moving on from there, I got the EQ section, but I'm gonna come back to this because it's a little bit extensive. So let's go to the effects section over here. You got delay, reverb, and then I didn't notice this for the first week of using this, but if I click this right arrow right here, you got chorus, flanger, phaser, and tremolo. And I think they're actually going to be adding and expanding on this more in the future, so that'll be cool. Now one thing I'll suggest with the effects, if you're using any type of time-based effects, is actually when you're in the routing section, make sure you're not just on mono, make sure you're on mono stereo. If you're on mono, it just doesn't sound quite as wide pan. So again, if you hear, for a quick example, kind of sounds a little bit more center pan, but if I make it mono stereo, you get that kind of like big open reverb and delay, that kind of ping pong. So it's really nice. Another great thing about the routing up here, since we're up here, is the stereo feature. So this was really great. I was able to group 2 guitars, rhythm guitars, left and right, and then put them on a group track and just be in the stereo routing, and I could actually mix both guitars at the same time, which I found to be quite quick and efficient. If you hear any hissing or something like that, sometimes, you know, when we're recording guitars or we're just trying to develop a guitar tone on its own, and then we put it like 2 guitars guitars next to each other, we hear a very obvious EQ that needs to be taken out, and this makes it really easy that you can just start adjusting in that stereo routing. So very, very cool. So speaking of EQ, let's actually go back to that EQ parameter. Now this looks a little bit complicated, but I'm an idiot and I was able to actually get this, so you're gonna be just fine. Basically right here you got your high pass and your low pass frequencies. You got a low shelf and a high shelf. And right here are your peaks. So usually what happens when you're EQing guitars, like I was saying earlier, you can find spots where it's just like, there's like a hiss or something that you don't want to hear anymore. And you can actually just take that out by adjusting these three parameters. You basically have two. This is the frequency that you'll choose. So it goes from 10 Hertz all the way to 4,000. Usually 4K is where usually you want to take out a lot of hiss in guitars. And for this one right down here on the second one, you have 1,000 all the way up to 22K. Here's the gain that you'll want to either adjust or take out. And then this is the P1. This is basically the curve. So how tight do you want that curve? How much of the EQ do you want to take out? And that's pretty much it. And then again, right here, you have the master gain, which is really, really nice because sometimes when you're taking out like mid frequencies, the volume feels like it changes. And if you want to like A/B what you had, like any of the EQ moves that you've done, you're able to do that just by adjusting the gain accordingly and then turning it on and off to see if you like what you've done. So I found that to be, again, super, super helpful, and yeah, made dialing in a tone quite easy. All right, so now that we know how to navigate around this plugin, let's check out some tones. So after using this plugin for about a week, I really think this thing shines in the mix context. A lot of times when I opened up a preset, I was just like, oh shoot, I noticed there's no bass and there's no gain. Like a lot of it has been reduced, and that's usually what you get in a mix context. Usually you're taking out those frequencies to make the mix more clear. And I think these presets can definitely get there. You can make them feel good in your hands if you're just playing on your own, but it just takes some tweaking. But yeah, another thing I really like about this is that it actually feels real. When I pick softly, I can tell. When I'm picking more aggressively, I get that bite. and I like that it reacts like a real amp. I think that's pretty cool. Another thing that I really like is that this is not a heavy plugin. This seems like a small issue, but sometimes I've used plugins in the past and they are very, very heavy, and I couldn't load more than 2 instances. This, even with all the packs that I have loaded, I could probably load like 5 instances, no problem at all. So this plugin is going to go for $199, and it's going to come with 1 free pack, but you can try out any and or all the packs for 5 days. Definitely check it out and try it yourself. Also, if you get this plugin between now and April 3rd, it's actually $50 off, so it'll be $149. Definitely do yourself a favor and check out the link in my description. For more information, visit stltones.com. If you've made it this far in my video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please hit that thumbs up button, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in another video. All right? See you guys.